Oh, yeah, baby! Yeah! This is sweet. We finally finished the whole human body. Now we're going to start doing the fun stuff. Following these videos after this one, it's going to be drawn like in perspective, like foreshortened, like making a hand come towards you and stuff like that. But I just want to start off showing this book. Check out this book I got, baby. This is awesome. Guess how much this book is? It's freaking huge. Like this is my hand compared to the book. It's awesome. I found this. It's a store nearby, but it's only $10, man. It's a used bookstore. Look how thick this baby is. This is freaking sweet. But it's exciting. These are like the best artists of the Renaissance, like Da Vinci, and I think Michelangelo's in here. But yeah, Michelangelo's in here. But I just want to briefly show, like, if you can find a book like this, like this book is amazing. Because check this out. I couldn't even believe this. The images are huge. They're so big, like right here. Like that's a drawing. And if you can, try and find a book like this because it'll help out a lot to study everything we talked about, like the feet. You could see the feet, they have the arch, and the hands, the way the proportions of the hands are. Everything we went over is in this book. And so try and find a book like this. This is incredible. Oh, here's it is. Like Michelangelo's work. Right here, like, see, if you look at all the detail, this is huge. Like, you could see all the muscles we talked about, the proportions, the head, and just everything we kind of went over in the feet. So just try and find a book I would recommend on the Renaissance. And here's another amazing drawing. Another thing to note is drawing in general, in my opinion, I think a lot of the modern drawing, I think a lot of people, for some reason, in my opinion, feel like maybe when they draw, everything has to be so precise and neat. And when, like, kind of in the reality, the way, once again, this is my opinion, but I just feel like drawing should be spontaneous. It should be messy, and that's just something to note. So just keep that in mind and try to find another good example. Like this pose here. You can see kind of the way the muscles are, the ab, the pectorals, the face, the leg, the feet. It's not showing up real good, but just once again, try and get a book like this. It's really incredible. It's amazing how much you can learn just by looking at all these masters of art. And yeah, once again, like muscles, the proportion, and so anyway, the images aren't coming on too clear, but so we're going to start now with perspective. And the reason I wanted to show that Renaissance book is because the Renaissance really is what started perspective. Like prior to that, a lot of images were flat, and it was kind of the Renaissance that established everything has to be in perspective. And I think it was Botticello or Botticello or something like that. I think he was the one him and a partner who went over and kind of came up with perspective and figured it out. But anyway, I'm just going to start with 1-point perspective. The first thing to note whenever you draw anything is always think there's a horizon line. Like even if, say you're doing a drawing inside of a house and you can't see out, or anything where you won't actually see a landscape horizon line, just mentally keep that in mind, that there is a horizon line. And this is going to help a lot to draw the human form if you think like this. So the first type we'll do is 1-point perspective. And simply just put a point anywhere on the horizon line. And we'll just do a cube. That's one side of the cube. That means every line will converge back to that dot. Like so. And that means any other line running like this will be parallel. Like what we talked about before, like with the fingers, I was saying how if you draw them, always remember whichever way the hand is turned, like say that's the line you want to be concerned with there. That would mean each one of these, if I was drawing the hand, each one of the end knuckles would be parallel to this line if that was a line there. So that's the idea. That's something to keep in mind. Whereas in the perspective in here would come from like from this side of the hand. Like if you think of it in a box going back that way. But for little stuff like the hand, and unless you're doing a really close up, I wouldn't worry about it because that's not really important. But other things you'll see, like if you're drawing the human figure huge, this is really important. But there you go, like a basic box shape, and see these lines you can't see them, but they would converge back to that one point. So that's one point perspective. It's like that, very simply. Now the reason why this is so important to understand is there's two things I want to like note down here is that if anything is above the horizon line, you can't see the top of it. If ever anything's below the horizon line, you can't see the bottom surface of it. And so that's important because if you're drawing a human and say the head is above the line, don't even worry about lining the perspective up, but like something like this, and that would mean if the head is above that horizon line, you might see a little bit under the chin, like so. So that might be a little shadow cast, and that would raise the eye level just a tad bit higher. And we'll get more into detail about that. Yet all this, like this, you wouldn't see the bottom. See, like if that's a cube shape too, you would not see under the pelvis. And that's the basic idea of perspective. And then say if the arm's being raised, you would see under that muscle. You'd see all that because it's being raised and you're looking up towards it. Just like this, you can't see the top, but you could see the top of the cube if, say for example, I drew a cube here, all lined up to that. See that every line's lining up to that. That's a real easy cube. See, you can see the top of this because it's below the horizon line. I mean, that's really important to get that down because personally, I don't use a lot of when I draw a human in perspective, I don't put dots all over, but it can't help. The only reason is because if you get this general idea, like if a head's above the line or a leg is, or if you're looking up at something, then just think of the shapes. So, but this is one point perspective. All the lines converge to that point. And just look at the horizon line today. Whenever you're looking, like say if you have a table in front of you, look at the horizon line and get to where you can see it below the horizon line, and you'll notice how you can't see the top of the table or the bottom. But anyway, so see, take this cube though. This is why it's important. So from here you can do what we've been doing is proportions, 1/3, 1/3. So the ear would sit about right there, and then like that, kind of flush it out. But with this cube, it's like you can form a circle. This is a really bad head drawing, but I'm just giving a general idea of what these proportions can do, like so. Eye, like two eyes. But that's the idea. It's like if you start thinking things, this is a really horrible drawing. But that's one point perspective, and next we'll start with 2 point perspective. Thanks.